This is Judge Joe Brown, and we're listening to We All Be News, news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
Hello?
Hey, bro, Grant, how you doing?
Pretty good, Mr. Hurd. Hey, listen, man, first of all, let me apologize for calling you for late.
Nah, this probably you good.
Never had no,
Good.
had no option. So, I wanted to tell you that I did want to tell you that I did get a chance to speak to Mr. Gregory Monday. So we did get a chance to speak. Thank you for sending the number.
No problem. So you said it went pretty well, and how did it go with Mr. Gregory?
Yeah, well, when we spoke, I spoke to him. I didn't get a chance to get into anything of substance. And I was actually supposed to talk to him later, and my friend, the one that you had talked to, sent the number to, I think she talked to him. She actually went down to South Carolina and saw him to do with maybe Greenville.
Okay.
And took up some documents. Like I said, I'm definitely glad she gave me the number. And he gave her an address, and I didn't get the address from her. I hope I didn't get my sister. I'm not maybe certain, if when I talk to her again. But I think my sister has the address, so I just want to give some real information, man. I definitely want to thank you for for connecting us. I definitely appreciate it.
No problem. It's an honor, man. Ain't no big deal. I mean, I know it's a big deal. I mean, because you're in jail and you're trying to get out of there. But I'm glad that people are waking up to the truth, because I've been doing some research online. It's like people knew that it was something wrong with your case in particular, 20-something years ago. Like, even some of the media folks knew, but we didn't have an internet like we do now, or social media. So I was reading GQ and all this stuff. It's like, you definitely sound like you were set up.
Yeah, man. And I'm just trying not to, and one thing that kind of bothers me, speaking with my attorneys or just speaking with other people sometimes is they feel like kind of offended, or they act, offended that I'm angry. And they're like, well, that happened then, this, and I'm like, listen, I wake up every day, on the plantation.
Right.
And it's different when you may not be aware of what your condition is, and what the different factors that contributed to your condition being what it is. But when you become conscious of it, man, like I have an 8th grade, 9th grade, actually a 9th grade education. Like that is the totality of my education. I actually never even finished 9th grade, so I actually have an 8th grade education.
Right.
Because I was locked up for another charge that was actually overturned. So it's like they already acknowledged that they already sent me to prison one time. And I'm going to tell you something, man. Like with our children, when they get around 3rd grade and they identify certain character traits in you, combined with a certain type of intelligence, if they can't kind of steer you for whatever reason, whether it's because you don't have, the supporting cast, in your home, or because you're just rebellious, if they can't steer you in a way that helps them, that serves their agenda, man, they just start targeting you. Like they start suspending you for no reason. It's like I went through all of that, and I was a very, very good student. You see what I'm saying? So it's like where I came from, like in this area that I was living at down here. It's an openly racist county. The only black people that have positions were black people that kind of that stayed in their position. And so I just think there's a lot of things that people just never even knew, but people still knew that there was something off. And,
right.
I want you to tell me about your show, though, man, if you don't mind.
Oh, no, man. Basically, it's a show. Like, I try to feature cases like yours, like, cases that you be looked into that probably been neglected or overlooked by the mainstream media. That's why I try to interview everyday people doing stuff in their communities. And I also interview people like Dick Gregory and Judge Joe Brown and people like that as well that have a following. So basically what I'm trying to do is build a platform where I can amplify stories like this and give a different narrative than what's out there right now. Because your story definitely needs to be amplified.
Like what type of time? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And I'm gonna tell you something. And I have a bad habit of talking fast because
Well, I talk fast too, man. You are very intelligent. What struck me about you is how intelligent you sound and articulate. You say you only had like a 9th grade education. I can tell you a highly intelligent dude. Very intelligent guy. And like what you were saying made sense about the 3rd grade, how they steer certain folks away if they can't control you. And that's what they fear, educated black man, regardless of if you're on a plantation or if you're on another plantation. There's something about an educated, thinking black man that they fear.
Yeah,
And one that's willing to fight for themselves. Yeah.
And it's have you ever heard of a brother? His name is Amos N. Wilson. He wrote
a
book called BluePrINt for Black Power.
Yeah, I heard that, bro, Dr. Wilson.
That's like, all right, so that's like, man, like that guy, like that's my Bible. You know, and I study different religions, and to me, I see the common thread and the principle that runs throughout them, and that's what I try to, that's my ideal, whether I, reach it or not. Most days I probably don't. But that brother Amos N. Like Wilson, bro, like that's my Bible, bro. Like that's my guy. And that's the dude, that's the person to open my eyes, man. Like when I read this brother book, man, it's like, there's still parts that I still have not read. Because, you gotta go deep with him. But like I said, man, I've been fortunate, man, that I did, like, books just kind of seem to find me, like books that have the material that I needed, whether it's dealing with this law, dealing with society, dealing with religion, culture, history, philosophy. What I need has always been given to me. And it's difficult because we're in an area here, man, where most people are just not going to ask any questions. But I do, like, what I wanted to ask you, like, how long is it, like, expect the answers you do, because I do want to do something with you, man. And, and with that, I think that it would be, because I was talking to my attorneys, and I haven't spoken to them in like a few days. But what I was trying to explain to them one time before, I said, well, the thing about doing, print is that you're kind of vulnerable to somebody else's, editing pen. Like they can edit out whatever they want to. And the thing about TV news, which I've had like a lot of offers, especially like in the last couple of months. But the thing about that is it's so short. It's like 10 minutes or 5 minutes, and then out of that 5 minutes they may show 3 minutes, or they may do like a week special. But it's kind of dangerous. It doesn't really give you a chance to speak for yourself. And I was just, like I said, I'm definitely very much interested in, like, doing something, and especially like if we have the time, we could just talk, because I think that who I am speaks for itself.
Right.
And I do know that some people, they can take one thing and they can just kind of mischaracterize you based on that one thing. And I have a very strong headed, like I have a strong will.
Right.
And I'm passionate about what I believe in and what I know to be true. And a lot of people, man, like, they're so scared of that. It's like, oh my God, he's an angry black man. It's a typical angry black man.
Right.
And in my situation, bro, I think it's legitimate. I think I should be angry. I think that people should be angry, because the thing about this case is that this case in North Carolina, it was the case that they used to push through something called structured sentencing. And what structured sentencing is in North Carolina is like an 85% law. So, like, they use that law to extend the amount of time brothers had to spend in prison based on prior crimes. Most of the time, whether those crimes, whether you had any type of effective assistance or not, was not even relevant. And then they used, keeping brothers in prison longer to expand the whole prison complex that they have here in North Carolina, which is an industry, man. It's a slave industry. And so it's like, that's the thing about it, is that, aside from my case, aside from it being a murder trial, aside from it being Michael Jordan's father, people have to understand as black people that any time that we're convicted of something, especially if you're falsely convicted of something, but when you're convicted of something of this nature, that goes into the whole side of the argument for the extermination of, like, black people in this country, man. And it's something that's very much real. Whether they're doing it through eugenics, whether they're doing it through prisons, it's real. It's real. That's the type of thing that I just would like to really talk about.
Yeah, man. I would just like to share this conversation with the people, because what I did was I did a mashup. I went back into my archives and got what Dick said about the case originally. And I did a mashup with some of the stuff we talked about before, and people they got an appetite for this. People have been responding to you very positively about what's going on with this case. Because I'm letting you speak, like you said, in your own words on the edited. Then I had Dick Gregory, and then I talked to him again after I, spoke with you last week. And I put that out there about what he thought. And he, did it again. He said, look, he didn't do it. This is what really happened. And so I'm putting all that stuff out there. Now people are getting renewed interest in your case, like through social media. So I'll be more than happy to be used as a platform for you to express these ideas you express with me, because you got such a powerful voice, man. I just think that you're very sincere. You know, I never met you before physically, but I'm hearing it in your voice, man. Like, you say you're a very sincere person. You're very intelligent, and you're really passionate about trying to help other people realize what's going on behind the enemy lines. Yes, I definitely want to. I mean, you know, you call me whenever, man. Like, I'm sorry that I tried to get the other. When you called this morning, I had my card, and they kept on wanting to accept my other card. I don't know why I got money on it. But no, feel free to call me whenever, Collect, man. No, I'll be more than happy to put the word out about what you're doing and share our conversation.
And these calls just so you know, these calls $1.60, which is a big improvement from what it was.
Yeah, I know.
One time it was more outrageous. So what happened is that you had, like, I don't know if you know what a Google call forwarding number is, but what it was is that Google used, like, basically they would give out free call forwarding numbers, and so you would have to say your name. And what they did is that they used, like, us using these call forwarding numbers I'm thinking, I'm not certain, but I'm thinking to perfect their like voice recognition program, however they're doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
So we would get like a free number. So we was beating the system because we would just get like a local number, and it would only cost like $1.21 a call. So once they got on to that, then that's when they dropped the price down to like $1.60. So it still costs more than it was costing, like, if you had somebody that could get you that number. But, like, again, man, it's about the industry. And so, like you said, so, like, are you, like, so you have like a website?
Yeah, I got a YouTube channel. I do podcasting. I got a YouTube channel. I got about 40,000 subscribers altogether. Okay. Then I got a Twitter account. I got Facebook. So I go to places and stuff, and people recognize me or the work that I'm doing. And, you know, I got a platform for you, so I'm more than happy to share what you're sharing with me to the people. Because people have been giving a lot of positive feedback to what you've been saying, and they're looking at the case differently now. Because it's funny how it's been 23 years, and Michael Jordan's number is 23. See, white supremacy, people don't play. And the guy, your co-defendant, right, he's eligible for parole this year, from what I read. The guy who blamed you.
This is another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is another thing, because in actuality, man, the type of plea bargain that he had, and because of the, like, you know, we were arrested in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
So what they ended up doing is that they gave him his plea bargain was an illegal plea bargain, and that's kind of complicated. But the thing is that they eventually try to make it look good, and they cut it down to like a regular life sentence, which is 20 years before you start going up for parole. So he actually should have came up for parole the first time 3 years ago. But they extended it, I'm thinking, just like another 3 years, so that he would be around. That I guess they were trying to use that leverage as my case works itself through the process. So yeah, he definitely comes up, man. And I mean, you know, this dude, man, I don't know how he lived with himself at this stage, because it's something he's still keeping up. But, you know, man, but I look forward to talking to you again. I want to get your phone number, and I'll call you back sometime with your phone number, okay?
Yeah.
Not your phone number, but your address, okay?
All right, that's fine. That'd be great.